What's up, everybody? My name is Erin, and welcome to the Mad Maker Studio. It's been a hot minute since I've uploaded anything, but today I'm back with another playthrough of Rendezvous. If you're in the Marionetta fandom, you're probably aware that this week is SaheJul week, so I thought it would be fun to revisit this game, record another playthrough, and post it for the event. For this playthrough, I enlisted the help of two of my Discord friends, Fobix and Yeel to Eel. As of the date of recording, they have not read Marionetta yet, so that made the visual novel experience that much more fun. There's a link down in the description to the itch.io page so you can play this game for yourself. Check it out, show the creator some love, and if you've already played this game, tell me what ending you got in the comments. So I did one ending already. I got the partners in crime ending. There's a beautiful character art of our
Who
best.
did you say made this?
So it's written. There were quite a few people involved with the music. I'll have to look back at my YouTube channel for them. But Andra Hosa did the art and she made the game, and then Speckle, who's like the biggest fanfic writer in the fandom right now, wrote it. So they did a collab.
That's pretty cool.
Have you read Marionetta?
I've read part of it, but I never actually finished it, but I kind of get like, I think I just read the first and second chapter.
Okay,
or episode.
Okay, yeah, so this game takes place like after the season 1 finale, where
that's cool. I don't care about spoilers. I'll get around to reading it eventually.
Just like a quick recap because they're going to be talking about it. But so season 1 ended with our main character Julia throwing a knife into the ringmaster's head and thinking she killed him, but of course they're all already dead, so he didn't die from a knife in his eye. And she and Saheed were in on it together, and they basically got put into solitary confinement afterwards. Because they tried to do a murder. So this is like kind of like talking about like how they're gonna deal with the aftermath of that.
Okay.
But it's pretty straightforward, I think, or it's not gonna be. It's like a light visual novel. So we'll get started when Fobix comes back, so he could be the man.
He can be
voice.
The
be the man voice.
As always.
Yeah, so if you you can either, if you would like to be the narrator or Julia, whichever you prefer.
How many characters are they doing in this?
It's just the 2 characters and a narrator.
Okay. Whichever one you don't feel like doing is fine.
Okay, then I'll go ahead and be Julia.
Okay.
If you be the
You're
narrator.
the one playing it.
Yeah. And then oh yeah, and then we'll make choices together.
Wonderful.
Okay, if we're ready, let's get started.
Fly.
So I'll be Julia. Yield's gonna narrate. You can be okay. There's been some speculation about how to pronounce this man's name. I called him Shaheed the first time just because that's what Google brought up.
How it's spelled.
Yeah, SAHED. And then I think Webtoon Official put out a reel where they referred to him as Saheed. So I think Saheed is the canonical pronunciation.
Saheed?
Yes.
Okay.
And
I would have pronounced it Sahed, honestly. I don't know.
Yeah, that's how I did it, Sahed, and then but Saheed, or Shaheed. I guess whatever rolls off the tongue better, because no one has clarified it officially, but it's up for debate, but it's fine.
What ending are you going for? Actually, how many endings does the
There
game
are
have?
there are 7 endings total.
Oh my god.
This we're not gonna do all of them. I got the
Okay.
How long does it
partners.
typically take?
It'll be like about an hour, depending on how much we banter.
Cool.
But I got the partners in crime ending, so when we go to pick choices, I'll let you all know what I picked the first time around, and then we can decide if we want to keep that answer or to pick a different
We
one.
picked another answer. We
Yeah,
get to
there
the
is
worst ending possible.
yeah, there is a really bad ending.
Let's just kill all the characters.
Yeah. Well, you can't. They're already dead.
The main character
Yeah.
isn't dead, is she?
Oh yeah, she's dead. She got ran over by their caravan and she died, and then she got
Womp womp, I guess.
yeah, she got brought back to life under a contract. But
Rendezvous.
yeah,
Does it kill them if if their bodies get eviscerated?
No, they just heal automatically. The only way to kill them, there's like a spiritual string that comes out of the back of their necks that's connected to the entity in the attic that's keeping them alive. And if you use a special knife to sever that string, that's the only way they can perish.
Okay, let's go find the knife.
Well, we can't find the knife in this game. It's a visual novel.
This is so sad.
They'll talk about it. Okay, so this is
the narrator?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I should get me a water in a few minutes. Julia was risking it all right now. The words the ringleader had told her earlier in the week still weighed heavy in her ears. She was prohibited from going anywhere without telling Dottie or Dob, and was under no circumstances allowed to see Sahid. Despite that, the past few days, Julia has been discreetly exchanging notes with him. Whether it was underneath tables and chairs or carefully hidden behind equipment, the two made sure to be cautious with every message. They, eventually, agreed to meet up, and Sahid left instructions on how to reach their meeting point with his most recent note. Julia held the piece of paper, still in its utmost pristine condition, or almost pristine condition. She looked around. She was in a dirty old corridor, just as Sahid had described in the note. Decades-old posters were yellowing on the wall, equipment collecting dust. It looked like the broom was collecting dust as well.
That's ironic.
Each thing looked very old, yet delicate, just like the photos her dad had hanging on their wall.
I'll see my dad soon. I'll kill Tawny and go home. I have to. Sahid promised me.
After a moment, it struck Julia that this was the exact hallway where she had broken down a few months ago. When she had grabbed Camille and tried to find a way out. When she ended up running into Sahid, it seemed that everything related to Sahid would bring her to the aged hallway. She followed the instructions on the note, walking down on that path. It's a man!
It's her boy!
She could see the doorway to the room along with a familiar silhouette.
Wait, what kind of personality does he have? I forgot.
I would say compared to Sable Curse, he would most resemble Isaac. But he's got like
scary.
a permanent shit-eating grin on his face.
Oh, that's lovely. Julia moved quicker as she recognized him. As she drew closer to the room, her eyes widened in surprise. Is he like the canonical ship for this comic?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We love him.
Oh, yay. As Julia stepped into the room, she realized it looked nothing like what it had appeared to be from the outside. Saheed hadn't told her much about the room in the note. It simply mentioned how to get there. The room was lit up by a soft glow of globe-shaped lights that were attached to a makeup mirror and hung over what looked to be a bed. Luxurious pillows and fine silks covered the bed. It had to be the most expensive thing she had seen until then. Whoever this room belonged to before, they certainly were an important person. She walked further into the room, approaching the man she was meant to meet with. As she stood in front of him, Julia...
Okay.
Why his moves out?
Okay, so the most recent chapter showed him as like a young teenager, and he's wearing the same shirt. So he's had his chest out since day one. That's just who he is as a person.
Man. He has such man boobs. Jeez.
He is. You should see some of the... You should just go back and read it. Sometimes we just like looking at him.
That's fair, honestly. He is very eye candy.
Yeah. And I also really loved that they animated the choices. I just thought that was a fun touch.
That is a fun touch.
So the first time I played this, I went straight to the point. But
What was the ending you got last time?
I got Partners in Crime. So that was a good ending. You can get a bad ending.
Okay, are they all... Is at this point there be an established ship, or is that what the visual novel is doing?
We've been shipping them for a long time. Season 2's most recently like officially confirmed it to be a canon ship. But right now they're still kind of feeling each other out.
Okay, so I imagine that there are different endings where either they do become a ship or they don't become a ship, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, and the one you got wasn't a ship one, yeah?
It was kind of a ship ending. It was a good ending because it was like, yes, you told me the truth about everything. We'll work through this together. I'm here for you. You're here for me. Like a little more than best friends is how I would describe it.
Okay, I see.
I kind of just want to, like... I don't know what to pick, honestly.
Okay. Well, I can tell you what the writer told me to pick. They were very upset.
What?
Okay.
They said to ask him how he was.
All right, ask him how he is.
Okay.
How he was.
Let's freaking go. All right. As she stood in front of him, Julia asked him how he was. Relief washed over Julia when she saw Saheed, forgetting that their meeting had to be short. Despite the abandoned atmosphere, Julia found herself to relax as she approached the Akon, the sight of him being a calming one.
Yeah, so we're pretty sure that's pronounced as Akon.
Cool.
I'm pretty sure.
Or Akon. or just say Akon if you want to be silly.
I'll do Akon.
Okay.
It didn't matter too much what had happened while the two were apart. What mattered most is that they were able to talk face to face once again.
Saheed, how have you been?
Jesus, his bond sound is so deep. I can't deal with that.
Why is he sweating?
He's a nervous Nelly in front of his lady.
Delightful. It can't get much better than the entire circus watching our every back as if we're the bad guys.
Saheed's voice was dripping with sarcasm. He was clearly still unhappy about the earlier events.
Well, I did try to kill Tawny.
Don't be like that. Remember the plan? I gave you the idea to kill him and pushed you to do it. Jeez, you're really right about his shit-eating grit.
Yeah.
What is up with this?
Yeah, and in one of the chapters where it shows him as like a very young kid, he has the same shit-eating grin. That's just who he is.
It's just how he is. It's built into his character. It is baked
Exactly.
into him.
I still don't understand how you think they'll buy it.
They'll believe anything, and
Anton.
it's Anton. Okay, I was gonna say
Yeah.
it's pronounced Anton, right?
Yeah.
They'll believe anything Anton tells them. And Anton will believe whatever you tell him. If you look upset and it lines up with my story.
Julia looked to the side, still looking a bit doubtful. Saheed could pick up on her unsureness and decided to change topics. He didn't like the idea of Julia being hesitant, especially this early in the meeting.
How are you doing? Does that make sense to you guys?
Just make it past tense. I'm editing the narrator for my
Yeah.
vibe.
Have you missed me, pretty lady? I can't do his
There
voice!
are a couple of typos. This is an indie project.
Have you missed me, pretty lady?
She rolled her eyes, trying her best not to look affected by his words. She had missed him, but she couldn't give in to the satisfaction of playing along with his teasing. Especially since that's not what they met for.
If by miss you mean looking forward to plan our next move, then yes, you could say that.
Saheed's triumphant smirk adorned his face after her reply. Oh my gosh.
And I've been better, thanks for asking.
After she had given her answer, they... What did you do? You didn't go down this path,
No,
did you?
I did not go down this path, so this is a completely original choice.
I see.
I mean, I'm down to continue flirting, but...
I'm down.
Okay.
Let's
Unless
make
he says
flirt.
something out of pocket, then I'm gonna kill myself.
Let's find out.
Okay. Okay. Tragedy strikes at 11:38. Are you sure? You're... I shouldn't have eaten that cereal.
You can do it, Phobix. We believe in you.
Yes, we believe in you.
Are you sure? You're in a secluded room, alone with me. I don't think I can't do it.
Yes, you can.
Wait. I gotta I think I can only do this in my normal voice right now because I can't do any.
Fine. Just whatever's
Right,
comfortable.
That's so tragic, though. My voice is too high right now. Anyways.
I misread what he said, and I thought he said you're scheduled to be in a room alone with me, and then
That's what I thought at first. And then I was like, wait, no, that's just secluded.
Yo! Our brains are broken in the same way.
Twins.
This is so awesome.
Are you sure? You're in a secluded room alone with me. Don't think it could get much better than that.
Julia was stunned by his comment, and what appeared to be its implications.
What are you trying to?
She stammers, feeling even more heat rise to her cheeks. She looked away at anywhere, anything, hoping Saheed wouldn't notice her blush. She fixed her gaze on one of the lights above the mirror. Sahid grinned at her reaction and continued talking about their situation.
Bro. You know, I only turn on the lights so we'd be able to see each other. But we really don't need them on for this meeting. If someone walks by, they'll see this supposedly abandoned room being in use, and we wouldn't want that.
Julia dropped her gaze on the lights to the mirror, to the ginger wig on the counter.
Why does he have a
Alfie's
ginger
hair.
wig?
You know, that was what I
That's
thought the
Alfie.
moment I saw that.
So
He's
yeah, the
for him.
ringmaster also doubles as a clown, and he wears a ginger wig. But I think it'd be funnier if we just pretend that's Alfie's wig right there.
I genuinely, my brain immediately thought of Alfie when I saw that, but I didn't mention it.
I couldn't really tell what it was. So
I
if you
thought it
want-
was Alfie in the background, and I was like, is that a Sable Curse
Oh, that'd
reference?
be so funny.
Just Alfie peeking on them through the mirror.
he's peeking through the dimensional mirror.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want, I could turn them off.
Julia looked at the mirror and realized Sahid was looking at her. The moment she made eye contact with him, she felt her stomach drop and her blush deepen.
That won't be necessary. I highly doubt someone would be wandering around this area. It took me a while to figure out how to find the room.
Is it really that? Or does it make you... Blah? Or does it make you nervous being in the dark with a, with a man?
God, I love him. This
Man.
guy, I swear. Ugh, whatever makes you feel better. Let's get back to why we're really here.
Sahid smirked, knowing that he successfully got through to the girl and thinking it was enough teasing. Is his eye on his forehead real?
Yes. So the Akan are a race of three-eyed people. So his third eye, like he can see the spirit world, or like the plane where the spirits go after they die.
I see. For now.
I don't know about you, but I haven't told Tani anything yet. He wants to meet with me later this week when we both had time to calm down.
So we need to both agree on the story and make it believable. Any ideas or suggestions?
Tani wanted to know where I got the dagger.
Simple. I gave it to you.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't make sense. How would you even get it? Did you tell him anything?
That's my problem. Leave it to me.
You can't expect to make a plan on the go. He's going to ask me how you got it since you didn't answer that for him.
And that's why you say, I don't know. Ask as if I didn't share that info with you.
Okay, so what do I do if Tani asks why I tried to kill him?
Say I promised you a way home if you killed him.
Julia bit her cheek, body tensing. That was no lie. He had promised her a way home. Yet, she was still stuck in the circus. How would Tani react if she told him that? Would he take pity on her and let her go home? Or would he think she was naive for thinking there was even a way out? What if there was a way, but her knowledge of the circus was considered a threat for all of them, and that's his excuse for not letting anyone go? Was it wishful thinking? She imagined herself returning home, running into her father's arms. She's...
What is going on?
Somebody came in here and started spectating me. She imagined herself returning home, running into her father's arms. She wasn't sure if she would tell him and the government about the circus after everything she's learned.
But you were going to take me home, right?
Saheed!
Oh, sorry. I got distracted. Well, I was planning to, yeah. You just need to kill Anton and free us from this hellhole in order to actually leave.
That was it. It was that seemingly empty promise that she was holding on to. And honestly, it was the tiny hope she needed to not fall completely into despair.
Okay, I'll just tell Tawny you made me do all of this.
Saheed nodded, a sly grin spreading across his face.
Clever girl. Now you're catching on.
There was that feeling, a warmth on her face, a turning of her stomach. He could never shut up and be normal. He always had to praise her in a way so reassuring and so embarrassing all the time. At the same time. It should be illegal, she thought to herself.
What do we do after this? After today? Are we done meeting?
I mean, not unless you want to stop meeting.
I think after I meet with Tawny, we should check in so we can get on the same level of understanding.
We shouldn't meet here again, though. Not next time.
What? Why not? This room is pretty isolated.
We can't raise suspicion. Most of the caravan can be moved around the circus and change places, but this room isn't one of them. If we keep meeting in the same spot, we're bound to get found out at some point.
What are we going to do then?
Julia asked, quite concerned, although, for the look of his face, Saheed seemed to have pretty much everything figured out. He suggested...
So use her friend as a messenger. I don't remember what too many ideas was. Or different places and hours.
That one seems the most logical to me.
Me too. The places and hours.
Okay.
He suggested places and hours.
Excuse me. Anyway.
Your excuse,
I thought you were going to make
Saheed.
that his voice.
We could always do different locations during different hours.
Simple, but hard to catch on to. How would we communicate the next location? Should we continuously leave notes?
Oh, whoops. That's not a bad idea. But we already put ourselves at risk the first time. I think it's best if we discuss it during our meetups. It'll be safer that way.
And what if something comes up that threatens the meetup?
If it comes down to it, we'll resort back to notes for a short period.
Yeah, I think that'll work. Then where would we meet next time?
I haven't thought of that.
Really? Saheed, you suggested the idea.
Calm down. Let's talk it out.
Fine. What's another place like this one that we could use?
Secluded and unguarded.
No one comes here at night.
Night.
His freaking expression.
What if we use the attraction tents for our meetings? They're hella busy during working hours, but barely no one checks those during the night.
Unless they're close to the bonfire.
Oh, of course. Wait, What? Sorry. What kind of tone is he saying this in?
Like, why didn't I think of this sooner? Like, doy.
Okay.
I'm guessing.
That's what it looks like.
Of course. Why didn't I think of that sooner?
Julia gave him a puzzled yet curious look. On one hand, she was glad that he was enthusiastic about it, but on the other, she wasn't sure if the ideas he would come up with would be as good. He had a bad reputation, after all.
What about the maze? Have you been to that one?
Yeah, it was very confusing. I don't know if it'll be a good idea.
No worries, Julia. I know that maze like the back of my hand. I used it as an escape whenever I got in trouble.
Does anyone know that?
They haven't found out yet.
Well, good for you, Sahid, but I still don't know the way around that maze.
Yeah.
Sahid opened his eyes at the realization that just struck him.
Actually, I think you're the first person I've ever told that to. You're not going to tell on me with Anton, right?
How could I?
Julia snickered at Sahid's childishness. Sometimes she couldn't believe he was most likely ancient. Oh, wait, hold
Yeah,
on.
so-
How old are they?
So we're betting. I'm betting that's okay. So when you die, you stay the same age as you were when you died. She's freshly dead.
How old is she?
Well, at the start of the series, she was 17 and then had her 18th birthday, but then the author went in and retconned the ages to make them older. So she's now 21, I think.
Okay, good.
But him,
good on the author.
we're betting. There was a picture at the end of season 1 that I believe indicates that he's definitely maybe a little older than her dad.
So just
how
like,
old was he when he died?
We're not sure yet.
I mean, he doesn't look that old.
We haven't gotten that backstory.
He acted like her age, maybe even a little younger. That side of him was nice. Yes, he was reckless and unpredictable most of the time. However, that part of him felt like the most honest to himself.
Then it might work. Only if you guide me through it, though.
You can count on me.
Same hour as today?
Maybe a little later. I'll be there an hour earlier to make sure no one got lost and stayed after hours.
Good call. It's settled then.
Julia felt what she could best describe as a light. I just butchered that. Hold on. Julia felt like what she could best describe as hope light up inside of her. It gave her a wave of energy and confidence. For a brief moment, she felt sure that she could get out of the circus before a year.
With that out of the way, let's move on to something else. What's with the attic god? Why did the passage close when we tried to go in?
Maybe he just didn't like you.
Julia was speaking in a serious tone, the slightest waver in her voice holding back from a laugh.
So please drink water. Alright, everyone, hydration check.
I just choked on my own saliva. I need to get. I'm gonna get water in a few minutes, like 2 minutes.
Okay.
There was something oddly amusing about the fact that the one other person The one other thing in the circus that seemed so magical and surreal hated the person who performed the magic.
What makes you say that? The fact that he closed the entrance right as I tried to step through?
Yes, it was open for me earlier. I didn't ask for it to do anything. I don't even know if it can hear me.
Do you think Anton told it to close so we'd be caught?
Julia was confused on why Sahid kept asking her questions as if she knew the answer. She had only been on the circus for a few months. She was the last person he should be asking those questions.
I don't know why you're asking me. You've been here longer. You also felt their presence from before. If anything, you know more than I do.
Yeah, but I've never spoken to them before. You have. Did he tell you anything?
There was an awe in Sahid's voice along with the slightest trace of jealousy. Some form of childlike wonder had taken place in him, wanting to learn every little thing about the attic monster, or god, as he called him.
I only remember hearing gibberish. After he gave me the dagger, I ran away. I'm not going to stay and have a friendly chat with him.
He gave you a mission. To kill Anton. And you never thought to talk to him.
Like I said, he doesn't look the friendliest.
I recall you saying he looks like bulbous.
Not a friendly look.
Alright, fine. We can figure out the whole attic god situation later. For now, we need to discuss the most important thing.
Sahid took a breath, preparing himself for the next debate.
We need to think about... Wait, what? We need to think... alternatives... What? I'm having a stroke.
That's fine. You can do
We
it.
need to think... Yeah, we need to think alternatives on how to kill Anton, in case the dagger's not a viable option.
What else would we use then?
A chair! I don't know. That's why we need to talk about it.
Okay. Julia insisted on the dagger because...
So, for this decision, I don't remember which one I picked.
Julia insisted on using the dagger because something about it caught her attention, and it was the only way they knew. I mean, number 2 feels logical.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah, number 2. I
Okay.
agree.
I don't see why we need an alternative if we already know a way to kill Tawny.
What if we don't get the dagger back?
I don't see why we couldn't. The attic creature gave it to me once. It should give it to me again.
And you think Anton would give it back to the attic god when he knows you got it there last time?
You asked me to tell Tawny that you gave me the dagger. There's a chance he'll put it back there. He doesn't know how it ended up in your hands.
Sahid let out a tired sigh. Julia always seemed proud of her smarts, yet refused to see or accept the obvious. It made no sense to him that Anton would put the dagger back where she got it from. Whether Anton believes in Julia or not, it was too risky. Somebody in the circus other than him knew where the dagger was and how to get it. It was obvious the attic was just not a safe place anymore. Why couldn't she see it? Why was she always so stubborn?
You bragged that you could lie on the spot.
Julia was looking up at Sahid, boldness and seriousness shining through her eyes. Her pupils were dilated, but her voice didn't waver. There wasn't time for another solution. Every day was drawing her closer to her last. Each minute of each day, of each week, of each month, nothing could be wasted. Time was so scarily costly to her. She refused to believe that Tawny would hide the dagger, and if he did, she would find it. The attic monster led her to it once. Surely it would do it again, right?
Make it work then.
Surprise bloomed across Zahid's face, eyes widening and holding back a surprised smile. It always caught him off guard for a split second when Julia got like this. As much as a hungry part of him loved it, he had to make sure that Julia would use her common sense and see that Anton would move the dagger.
If Tawny does move the dagger for whatever reason, we need to figure out how to get it. Did you even think about any possibilities for getting it back?
Zahid tilted his head back, thinking. There were various methods the two could use to get back the dagger. The first thing that came into his mind was... What does the paint seal mean?
I don't know. I didn't pick that one.
What does that mean?
What is the paint seal?
Okay, so you remember how I told you... Okay, so, alright, let's backtrack. So Akan could see the spirit world, and in addition to, like, people's souls, they see, like, spirit creatures. You know, think Avatar The Last Airbender and the spirit world thing. With the different creatures. So there are markings on those creatures that are seals that he can use in real life. So far, the government knows about the water seal, and he has the strength seal, and he just figured out the fire seal. So there's different seals.
Is there like a bunch of them?
Yeah, he's got, see those tattoos on his arms? Those are mostly complete seals. So he just has to finish drawing in the symbol, and like he can have like water come out of his hands.
Oh, that's cool.
Things like that.
So they have a paint?
No, so he was trying to find the pain seal, and I believe it's chapter 40. She walks into his room, and he's just sitting on his knees doing seppuku.
Oh.
Just shoving a straight up sword through his chest.
Man.
His logic was, if I'm in pain, I'll see a creature that bears the pain seal. And then I can copy it down and make Anton suffer.
Bro. Yeah, of course he would do that.
And they do, even though they're dead and they insta-heal, they do still feel pain. So,
oh my gosh.
He was hurting himself.
Okay, quick question. Last time, did you do the seducing Tawny?
I did, and I thought that was going to be him seducing Tawny, but it was just a joke about her seducing. I was very disappointed. I let the creators know, but it was all in good fun.
Oh my god.
Honestly, when I first read it, I thought it was going to be him seducing Tawny.
See, right? That's what I
Honestly,
thought.
that's what I assumed too.
It should be, just for the sake of it.
I think the reason for that is because it's what came into his mind.
Yeah, exactly. So I remember clicking on that and I was like, oh, I thought it was going to be him seducing Tawny. Well, I'm disappointed now.
I need to look up what this character looks like. I am just thinking of a name and I don't know what he looks like. Give me a second.
Of Tawny or the attic monster?
I am looking up Tawny. Okay, he looks seducible.
Yeah.
Wait, let me see. Now I have to look it up. I don't even remember what he
looks
looks
like. Did you ever see my cosplay that I did of him?
I did.
I'm looking up. Wait, Anthony and Tawny are they're the same guy?
Yeah, it's his nickname.
Oh!
He's kind of hot. Anyways.
Yeah, he is. All of these characters are beautiful.
Literally, the only other character that I remember what looks like is Juliet's best friend.
Yeah, Camille.
Yeah, I remember what she looks like. I remember liking her design. I like how she looks. I like her
Yeah,
face.
Miriam is a queen.
Cool. Yeah, we could probably go for the pain seal one.
Okay.
The first thing that came into his mind was using the pain seal.
So, you remember how before the show I was searching for the pain seal?
You sounded like dehydrated SpongeBob in that moment.
Yeah. That's the noise that's how he sounded while looking for the pain seal.
Pretty much.
Okay, wait. You remember how before the show I was searching for the pain seal?
Memories of Julia walking the Sahid and Raina's
Raina,
shared carriage.
I
Raina.
say her name is Raina in my head.
I see.
I'm not 100% sure if that's how it's pronounced.
Yeah, the names here are not the most obvious.
Like Raina. Her name means queen. If I'm remembering that correctly.
Oh, so then it would be Raina.
Raina? Oh, okay, perfect.
I'm gonna look up what Raina looks like real quick because I have the internet open right now.
She also has 3 eyes.
She's got green hair.
Yeah. So the thing with the Akan, they're very marginalized in society. They are not treated better than animals, I would say. They keep a bunch of their people locked up in a research center to find more seals for military purposes.
Is she shipped with the main character's best friend? I keep seeing art of them.
Not yet. Camille definitely has feelings for her. But then Raina had she had a past lover. She's canonically lesbian. But that past relationship where it's like her partner was in the place where before it became the circus with her, and she got tired of being alive and really went out in a very tragic way.
I see.
And she's been holding on to that for the longest time since it happened. So I don't know what the plans are, but she's definitely not looking for a relationship because she just that first one was so traumatizing.
My lesbians.
I know. They'll get a lot more screen time, I'm sure. Because we still haven't gotten her full backstory, because the circus used to be a castle. So
Interesting.
And then she made a point of like, when I was a child, I didn't know Nonicon people existed. So it's like, how far back are we going? I don't know yet.
Okay. Memories of Julia walking into Sahid and Raina's shared carriage were played in her mind.
Memories.
Julia had entered to only find him plunging a sword into his chest. She was frozen with shock and panic, unsure of what to do. The talk the two had after he removed the sword wasn't as awkward as she expected it to be, though.
Yes, did you find it?
Sahid glanced off to the side, his confident stance now slightly slouched.
As of right now, no. But I know I'm getting close. I'm sure I'll find it soon. My boy's correct.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah, I didn't notice. Does that mean you're going to be driving more swords through your chest?
It works. Every time I do it, I've been feeling it more and more.
Whatever,
It
dude.
sounds like a masochist. Calm down. Oh, for example, when you walked in, I could actually feel pain. Which, by the way, wasn't too pleasant when you're asking how to grab the sword.
I wasn't sure. I was panicking.
And I had a sword that hurt like hell stuck through my chest. Hey, remember when I cut your throat a few weeks after you joined the circus? When did he do that?
I think chapter 18. I've read this so many times. Yep, because she was still in denial about being dead. And so he slit her throat to show her that she could not die. That was the quickest way to make her believe. Yeah, pretty much.
You felt little to no pain. I wasn't anywhere close to finding the seal.
So you're actually making progress?
Yes, I can show you if you'd like.
Julia had an unamused look on her face. It felt like every day in the circus she despised daggers and other deadly weapons more and more. The knife killing Finnegan, the gun shooting Jathar, the dagger being jabbed through Saheed's chest, and the unforgettable dagger in Tawny's eye. The last thing she wanted to see was anything relating to that.
No thanks. I'll pass. I think I'll pass. Anyways, why did you bring it up? Are you planning to use it on Tawny?
If we get him into a corner or someplace where he can't escape, I'll threaten him to use what?
Oh, use the seal.
I'll threaten
him.
I'll threaten to use the seal on him. He should know that I've been experimenting with seals. He'll believe me, and I'll bring the and I'll bring the bloody daggers and swords as proof.
Doesn't Tawny know that blood can be drawn without pain?
Weapons will be enough to scare him. Anton is a wuss. He should give up without it. He should give up. Oh my god, bro, please.
You're doing a
He
great
should
job.
give up without us actually having to harm him.
The end of the sentence had a lighter tone, as if Saheed was happy about not having to kill the ringleader.
Saheed always seemed a bit anxious whenever I mentioned killing Tawny. I don't think he offered to kill him for me out of the kindness of his heart. Now he's trying to avoid torturing him for info when the end goal is to kill him. Does Saheed want to see Tawny in pain or not? He's so confusing.
Of course, if the threatening doesn't work, I'll have to use the seal for real. He has not experienced much pain in his long old life, so I bet he would give in. I bet he would give in really quickly. I'll work on finding the paint seal after this meeting. Fortunately, we're in no rush.
Yeah, so everyone else in the circuit is like immortal. She's on a time limit. No.
Wait, why?
The contract that she signed gave her 1 year to kill the ringmaster. Or she would die for realsies. But he doesn't know that yet.
I was wondering
Wait, I
why
thought
she
he
was
signed
trying
it
to
with
kill
him.
She signed it directly with the creature in the attic. That's the thing that everyone's tethered to and keeping them all alive. And they all signed. Yeah, they all signed a contract when they die. So she got a different contract that says you have 1 year to kill this guy, or I'm taking your soul for realsies.
So, like, are all the contracts different, or did she just get a unique one?
She got a unique one.
Oh, I see. I was wondering why she was trying to kill him, because when I looked at pictures of him, I was like, he looks like such a sweetie.
Oh yeah, no, she's freaking out. She's desperate. No. No, that's not true.
Narrator.
Julia felt the last string of sanity that was holding her together snap. She took a deep breath, trying to suppress her desperation. It was useless, though. This felt like the millionth time somebody had told her she can't die in the circus. Does anyone else know about her contract?
By the end of season 1, Camille does, because she finally spilled the beans. And then she did end up telling the ringmaster Tawny, because after the failed murder attempt, they got interrogated and she cracked and told him everything. But as far as Saheed, I don't think he knows yet, and he still doesn't know, which is going to be a problem for him, because then
I see.
he might start acting
Like a
rash.
cruel joke of sorts, with time being the one thing everyone but her had.
Why are you making that face?
Because you keep taking our plans as if we have all the time in the world.
Julia bit her lip, trying her best to hold herself together.
Not all of us have time, Saheed. Some of us have a few months before disappearing forever. Or being forgotten forever.
There was a rush, though. An hourglass filled with sand worth more than gold. Time felt so precious to Julia now, and she would do anything she could for even an extra day.
But we do. It's not like we can die of old age here. We can only die if Tawny kills us.
Is there any downsides if she tells people about her contract?
At this point, no. It's pretty openly known that she tried to kill Tawny. I don't know for certain if her contract or her pact got brought up in that, but they do know that they definitely tried to kill the ringmaster. But everyone's gotten back on friendly terms for the most part. And
I see.
yeah, I'm not sure if it's just because of oh, she was panicking, she was just in denial, she had false hope about leaving here. She's adjusting now.
Mm-mm.
Is it because you think he's gonna kill you during your meeting?
Julia felt her heart drop to her stomach. The thought of Tawny killing her made her forget the aforementioned never dying of old age.
He won't kill me, right? He would have killed me in the room after the show. There's no way Tawny will kill me, especially if I blame this all on Saheed.
Kill her.
Would he kill Saheed then? Is he waiting to be 100% certain he can't have us around? Shoot, why did Saheed have to say that? Is he trying to make me nervous? Can I trust him if he's saying stupid stuff like this without thinking? Well...
A colorful world took over Julia's mind as soon as she closed her eyes and took a deep breath. A world that looked awfully similar to the one she saw in her limbo nightmare. One that made her feel like she was in some kind of odd maze. She remembered the finely crafted lectern, work made of some master carpenter. The pact that knew her name, the pact that required her to murder, a pact that would make her stain her hands in innocent blood. Was Tawny really innocent, though? Or was Saheed right with every implication that the ringleader was hiding something big? None of the circus seemed to know about the attic monster except Saheed. Julia disliked the idea of a secret that big and scary being kept from everyone else. Bulbous, bright yellow, decaying and ancient, it made her sick thinking about him. I need to look up what this guy looks like.
Me too, honestly.
Oh, yeah, that's a pretty good way to describe him.
Yeah.
You said, oh.
His name is Rayishmar, but up until we got a name reveal, I've been calling him Attic-kun.
I wonder if we're gonna get backstory on him.
We have to eventually.
I wonder if he's related to any of the characters.
I firmly believe that he is an Akan as well. He was definitely a prince because Tawny dropped his feet weeping and got. It's my favorite panel now where he just falls to his knee in front of him weeping and going, "My prince."
Well, you know, his forehead is conveniently covered by hair.
Mm-hmm. And he's got just eyeballs on all his tendrils.
All right. She wasn't sure if it was because it repulsed her or because she felt pity for its situation. One thing was certain for her about that thing. It was hidden for a reason. It was definitely not a good one. She had to leave that place. That traveling circus of undead freaks forever. And the only help she had to achieve that was the Akan right in front of her. But then again, Sahid had promised Julia to go home, yet made no evident progress on it. He didn't tell her to aim for the thread, he assumed she knew what to do. For what felt like the longest time, Sahid spoke to her in riddles that were impossible to decode. His ideas and plans were most of the time too risky, and she wondered if he did that on purpose. Could she trust him? Should she trust him by telling him about the fleeting nature of her contract? Julia decided to
Just tell him.
tell him the truth.
Tell him the truth!
Julia glanced at Zahid, running over the meeting in her head. She thought of all the past interactions with him. He might be a bit reserved at times, but not in a way that made her think he was untrustworthy. It felt like nervousness was swarming her. Her chest tightened and felt felt her palms start to sweat.
Mom's heavy. Was it hand sweating mom spaghetti? I forget the lyrics.
She could do this. She told Camille already. Zahid was just another person. Just another person, okay. A person that she wanted to trust.
I haven't told you about my entire pact. When I signed it, it stated that I had to kill Tawny.
Oh, like written on it?
Yes, but it said that I had to do it in a year.
Only 1 year to kill Anton?
Julia bit her lip, her face on the verge of tears.
Wait, hold on. How does that work? What if you don't do that in time?
If I don't, my life will end forever. I'll die.
Sahid's eyes widened. Julia looked like a nervous wreck that was one step away from fully collapsing. The tension in the room felt so thick that Julia thought she was about to suffocate. Silence was the last thing she wanted to hear right now. Hell, she'd rather hear some pitiful "I'm sorry." Silence was too awkward, too uncomfortable after revealing something this significant. She only spoke to try and hopefully put an end to the silence.
I'm not sure how long it's been already. I think it started when I signed the pact and joined the circus.
Why did you hide that from me?
I didn't hide it from you specifically. I didn't tell anyone, not even Camille.
Wow. Not even her? That must have felt really lonely.
Yeah, it was. I just recently told her the day of the show. So now both of you know.
Sahid looks thoughtful for a moment. Julia is unsure how his reaction will be.
Well, I'm glad you can trust me more. What should we do now?
Huh? I don't know. Do things a bit faster?
Yeah, it sounds about right. I'll see what I can do to speed up the process of everything. Don't you worry about time. I have it under control. Nothing else then?
No, I guess that's all.
Great. Then I'll head back to my room. Wait a little while in here before going out to yours.
Okay. Bye, Sahid.
He
How
ran
did
out
he, like,
so
run
quick.
away?
Zoom!
I can't be in a room with a woman for this long.
Yeah. They'll start to talk.
Julia forced a smile as she waved at the man exiting the door. His reaction, or lack thereof, was not what she was expecting. At best, she'd expected him to have some sort of concern or worry for her. Hell, she even thought the worst case scenario where he would be mad at her for not telling him sooner. What she had gotten was nothing. Nothing at all. Did he care? Or was it too shocking that he didn't know how to react? For her own sanity, she'd believe it was the latter.
I shouldn't have expected anything meaningful from him. He's always playing with me. The fact that I thought he liked me.
She stopped on her own trail of thoughts because they would only rub salt into the wound.
Underwhelming response. Ending 4 out of 7.
That's the ending?
We didn't even get character
Whoa.
art for it.
Bro! This
So
is so
yeah,
sad.
so this is like very, very finely tuned just based on what the branching dialogue takes you down.
So, like, how different was this from the one you did? Like, dialogue option-wise?
It was mostly the same. I did not go down that first path we picked, where they ended up flirting more with each other, and then I picked the seducing Tawny instead of the pain seal. And I believe I'd have to go back and rewatch my video that I did before, but like this was the character art we got at the end of the first one I did, and they were still in the room, and it was like, oh, I'm here for you, we'll do this together. But dang.
Wow, he bolted out of there.
What did we do wrong?
Well, she did say we need to do things a bit faster, and then he ran out of the room.
Bro does not care about her.
Oh no, he loves her. He loves her so much. He just hasn't said it out loud yet. We're all waiting with bated breath.
Is he gonna do it? Is he gonna grow a pair? So sad.
Well, thank you guys for playing this with me. And that's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for joining me. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And remember to check the description for links to the Itch.io page, webtoon, and various social media accounts for more SaheJul Week goodies. I hope to see you next time. Bye!